Bills.
Which is a huge game that could actually still determine the AFC East. Meanwhile, Green Bay, Packers clinch a playoff berth with a home win over the Bears. Rex, are the Packers a legit Super Bowl contender?
I don't think they're a Super Bowl contender. Obviously, they're going to compete. They'll probably get to the NFC Championship. Have to go on the road and get beat.
But you still believe in Aaron Rodgers? There's been some dispute about that here. You're still totally in.
I'm totally in on Aaron Rodgers. I mean, and Aaron Jones. But you know what? Their defense, man, oh man. If you're banking on forcing turnovers all the time, I'm not sold.
Cowboys get back on track with a big win against the Rams. Are all of their problems solved?
No, it is for a week. But, you know, hey, next week could be something else. I love the way they ran the football. They were physical. They ran behind that offensive line. And if they did that more, they'd have a great chance they'll win next week.
Well, that's next week is the big game everyone's talking about when they will play the Eagles.
Yeah, so let's tell you what the Eagles did on Sunday. Dan's favorite guy, Carson Wentz, looking swaggy walking in. How about Urban Meyer and Alex Smith? More on that in just a moment. Hanging out watching this game. We go to the fourth quarter, and Wentz right here to Miles Sanders, Dan.
This is such an impressive play call. I mean, 3rd and 11, you got to bank on the Redskins bringing a blitz, and you want to run away from that blitz. You got to trust your scouting and your game plan in that moment. They did a massive play call by Doug P. 56-yard
gain, and then here you speak of trust, Wentz to Zach Ertz.
Yeah, I mean, that's that bunch set. You catch the defense in man-to-man coverage, get a couple rubs and picks. Ertz wide open again, 2nd week in a row.
We couldn't show you all good Wentz. We got to show you some bad. How about Ryan Anderson
This is not his fault. No, this is his fault. I mean, this is bad by him in the pocket. He's got to just feel that timing is gone. I got to get out. It's 3rd and 2. Let me go get a run. You saw his frustration.
That led to a Redskins field goal. Wentz right here under 2 minutes and 30 to play. How about that catch?
This throw and catch is sick. I mean, it comes out of his hands so early. Goddard fights through some contact, sticks the left hand. Watch him roll underneath to make sure he secures that catch. Really well done.
Hey, Dan, where's Greg Ward Jr. been this whole time on the practice squad? How about this one?
Just hanging out in Houston playing quarterback. I mean, I love this ball, the air on this throw, but watch Ward go attack it in the air. You tell High Point, go attack it. For a college quarterback to do that, so well done. Another massive comeback win.
All right, so the Eagles now stringing together 2 wins, and the Cowboys winning yesterday means both teams will meet at 7-7 next week with the NFC East on the line. Look, somebody's got to win it. If the Cowboys are to win, then they will officially clinch the division title. FPI favors Dallas to win the game and the division. So, Pat and Dan, look, Dan, I'm going to give you the first crack here because you got to talk about your guy Wentz. But in all seriousness, these last 2 games, you told us last week you felt like that win would be big for him and his confidence. What did you see on Sunday?
Well, I mean, 2nd time in 6 days of another performance that, you know, like when he needed to be his best, he was at his best. They needed him to be in the 4th quarter on that last drive as good as he's been all year. And the ball placement, the decision-making, getting it out of his hands, it was spectacular. And then Doug Peterson, I thought, was outstanding with the whole game plan. Some of the screen passes. I mean, you see this throw by Carson Wentz and the air that he puts on it, lofting it. They had 1 receiver catch a pass yesterday. 1. And they won an NFL football game. I mean, that doesn't happen by accident. The quarterback, when they needed him to be at his absolute best, the 2nd time in 6 days he was.
Listen, I like Carson Wentz. I think he's very good. I've learned of his greatness more because of you explaining why the wide receivers are wrong and Carson Wentz is always right. And I understand that the Eagles have 9 players on IR, plus another 4 just yesterday. So I'm no mathematist or scientist, but that's 13 people that are out. This Philadelphia Eagles team is decimated with injuries, which is why I think this upcoming week, the Cowboys, who are hot right now, who Jason Garrett has the team absolutely motivated and ready to go, get an easy win whenever they're favored in Philadelphia.
Win.
The same place that not only, abused Santa a little bit and gets angry. I don't think home field advantage is going to mean much because as soon as the Cowboys get a lead, that fan base is going to turn on them. And the Eagles have not played with a lead for the last 2 games. Right. Not a single play with the lead. They start slow, and whenever Zeke and the Cowboys get hot this week, the Bolo tie, Jerry Jones and Jason Garrett, the clapper, are going to run their way right into the playoffs and win the NFC least.
All right, you sound like a head coach of the Cowboys. First of all,
I would take that job, by the way.
Don't go to Philly after the Santa comment because that's not
I didn't
correct.
say.
Second of all, that place is going to be rock. Who do you trust more as a head coach?
Well,
guy can't talk. Who do you trust more as a quarterback?
I like Dak Prescott. Number one offense. Number one offense, passing offense. I like Dak Prescott.
Who you like more.
Hold on now. Hold on. Kellen Moore
Answer my question.
has never been in a situation. You don't know what you don't know, right? He's stupid going in there.
Okay.
And I think with all the weapons that they have and the defense coming together around Sean Lee because Van Der Esch has been out.
That defense is going to have 15 screen passes thrown on to expose them.
And that Eagles defense is about to get sliced open by Amari Cooper. And now Tavon Austin is playing like Tyreek Hill.
What quarterback do you trust more?
Yeah, I like Dak Prescott. I'm going to hammer that home.
Okay.
One answer to the question tells you everything you need to know.
It also tells you that because he hasn't answered the question, he might really be a good fit for the Cowboys head coach coming up forward. All right, Greeny, something else happened in that game in the owner's box.
Yeah, let's go back to the beginning of the conversation where we saw Urban Meyer sitting there with Alex Smith, who some may not remember, was his quarterback at Utah once upon a time and then became the first pick in the draft. And he was also there to see his former quarterback is there and his former wide receiver is there. The two kids from Ohio State who are rookies, who, by the way, both played well yesterday. Dwayne Haskins played well yesterday, but this conversation is going to be about Urban Meyer. So, Rex, Urban Meyer is a name that has come up. It came up in connection with the Cowboys coaching job. It's going to come up with practically every significant college opening that there is. And now because he's sitting there yesterday, it comes up with the vacancy in Washington. Do you think that would be a good move for the Skins?
Well, yeah, no, I think it will be. I think it'll be a great move for him, man. You get both your quarterbacks, and it's going to look great on paper. But if you're Urban Meyer and you've had health issues, all that, if you take this job, you thought you had health issues. Just wait. This is the men's league. I tell you what, it ain't for everybody. And Urban, look, that money's going to have to be huge for him to take it. And I think he will, because money talks, and we know what walks. I think he'll take that job. And then when he takes it, after about 2 games, he's going to be like, what the hell am I doing?
I don't understand the fascination between Urban Meyer and the NFL. Like, Urban Meyer's 2 strengths are recruiting and the quarterback run. You can't recruit in the NFL, and the quarterback run doesn't survive. I mean, the way that Ohio State and Bowling Green and Utah have run it, I mean, it's not like what we see in Baltimore. So you're not going to get Urban Meyer to change the way he calls offense. He's been so reliant on quarterback run for a long time. And then also, like, he can't recruit players in the NFL. You get given by the general manager who you get to coach. That was his greatest strength, was finding the talent and getting it to come to his schools.
Listen, Urban Meyer took a shot at me out of nowhere whenever he was doing a very small interview for somebody. So I obviously think he's a bum strictly because of that. But let's go deeper into this. A lot of college coaches have not been able to transition into the NFL if they have no NFL experience.
Right.
I mean, you saw with Saban, he left. Petrino left. You name it. Whenever you have that authoritarian where you control every single moment of somebody's life, which is what college coaches do. They control their workout. They control what they're eating. They control their classes. They control their study sessions year round, even through the summer. When it gets in the NFL, it's just a different ball game having to handle that. Now, can he adjust to the modern NFL and having to deal with players that are making more money than him? Maybe. I just think it's going to be difficult for somebody that has a lot of success, old dog, new tricks, especially whenever you've been successful at a different level, to be kind of sunned a little bit, which is what happens in the NFL when you're working together with the players as opposed to being the boss of the players.
I will say, like, the 2 teams he's been tied to, obviously Dallas and I mean, he'll have way more power in Washington than he would in Dallas, right? Like, way more control, way more say over the roster.
Yeah. Ask Jay Gruden how that worked out for him, and every other head coach who's ever coached under Daniel Snyder. Listen, to me, that is unquestionably the worst of the openings, because everyone thinks you should look at the quarterback. You can outlast the quarterback. You're not outlasting the owner.
But if you turn it, just like the Cleveland job, like I was told by Rod Chudzinski, he said, you haven't coached in the NFL until you've been fired from Cleveland. And I think the reason why you enjoy going to these types of places is because if you turn them around, you're a hero forever. This is what Urban Meyer has